Thank you so much. Vice Chair Barr, given the circumstances, I feel compelled to ask you the same question I asked Chair Powell in July 2019 when he was sitting in the same chair as you are. That is, I asked the Fed chair if Trump or his co-president called and said, "You're fired, pack up, it's time to go," what he would do. Chair Powell's response to this question was, quote, "My answer would be, no, the law clearly gives me a 4-year term, and I fully intend to serve it." Chair Powell recently reaffirmed this. So, how about you? Vice Chair Barr, would you pack up and go if Trump or Elon Musk called to fire you?
Congresswoman, as Chair Powell said, we serve fixed terms of office, and I intend to serve my fixed term of office.
Thank you. The independence of our agency, like the Federal Reserve, has been critical to supporting the stability of our economy for more than a century. So I hope my colleagues on both sides of the aisle will join me in supporting you and Chair Powell to defend that independence. The Fed has a responsibility known as the, quote, dual mandate. This is for you, Vice Chair Barr, to promote stable prices and full employment. The Fed has spent the last couple of years doing just that and helping protect the United States from global inflationary period and bringing inflation back to your target of 2%. However, experts have warned policies of the new administration are expected to cause inflation to skyrocket. Setting aside the merits of different policy choices, it is important for Congress to understand the economics different options may cause. To that end, would deporting millions of people and imposing across-the-board taxes on imported goods through tariffs likely to have an inflationary outcome?
Congresswoman, as you pointed, I think we've made enormous progress on our dual mandate. Inflation has come down dramatically from its highs 2 years ago. The unemployment rate remains at historically low levels. We've seen significant growth in the economy and a real significant boost in productivity, which are all positive for the American people. In an economy as big and diverse and broad and dynamic as ours, it's very hard to say what any particular policy input will be without knowing more about it. It's early for us in that kind of assessment. As we learn more about what the policies of the new administration might be, those will begin to be introduced into scenarios and forecasts and other measures of the economy.
Thank you, Chair Powell. I'm sorry, Chair Powell, I want to say earlier this year, he said that the United States is on an unsustainable fiscal path. In 2017, we were told that Trump's tax cuts for corporations and billionaires like Elon Musk would pay for themselves, but that, of course, did not happen. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimated that if Congress extends these tax cuts, it would add $4.6 trillion over the next decade to our deficit. Would that make our fiscal path even more unsustainable?
Congresswoman, fiscal policy is obviously the purview of the Congress and the President, not of the Federal Reserve. We take fiscal policy as a given input into our approach. I agree that in the very long-term sense, I agree with Chair Powell that the path of fiscal policy that we are on and have been on is not sustainable, but we don't get involved at all in fiscal policy decisions of any administration or of the Congress.
Do you have an opinion about what would happen if millions of individuals would be deported? And what would that do to businesses in this country? Would that cause inflation?
Congresswoman, it's early, as I said, in our thinking, trying to understand what the policies of the new administration might be. Really, in an economy as diverse and big and complex as ours, policy is one input into that, but we look at the whole picture, and as we learn more, that will begin to be incorporated into our thinking, into our forecasts, into alternative scenarios about the economy.
Thank you very much. I yield back.